rights which we enjoy as a country, the freedom of worship, the entire Bill of Rights, all those fundamental principles of our country's establishment are curtailed first by public safety. 2, justice. 3, morality. Public morality, not individual morality. That's why you have laws that curtail certain things that appear to be promoting expression of people's freedoms for purposes of guarding our collective public morals as a society. But also all those freedoms, including movement and speech, religion, they are not absolute. They are curtailed by the need to promote public security and safety. That's why you have freedom of movement. But when there is a security emergency, that freedom of movement will be curtailed, and the government will rightly impose a curfew and say you cannot move from A to Z. They have not taken up the right, they have just limited that right, curtailed it for purposes of public safety and public order. Therefore, in terms of this hallowed bedrock principle of religious freedom that is at the core of our country's constitution, going forward, this exercise must be circumscribed by the need to protect collective security in our country. And I am very clear in my mind, we must change from the current laissez-faire approach to reverence to religion, to a point where we allow our religiosity and our belief in God to allow members of our society to hurt the society, to kill them, to exploit them, to manipulate them, to indoctrinate them. All those aspects, when they come through religion, must be arrested by the law. We must prevent ministers of religion from using this important right to freedom of worship and freedom of religion, from using that space to cause social harm. And there is nothing unconstitutional about that. The freedom to worship and to religion does not include the freedom to kill people, or to take their property, or to torture them, or to expose them to degrading treatment. That is the future. And so, all the things we have said, we will push them through as government. It doesn't matter who opposes them, we'll push them through. No preacher or priest or kadhi or rabbi will be allowed to preach, and in the course of preaching they are killing people, they are torturing them, they are aiding them to commit suicide. Those are illegal activities, those are not religious activities. So we'll push in legal reforms to make it difficult for criminals to use the holy scriptures and religious spaces to hurt our society. It doesn't matter who opposes them, we will push through as this government as one way of showing remorse as a country at how we have been careless to allow the kind of loss we have incurred in Shakahola. I am told from dealing with this matter, there are other sects somewhere, there are other places of worship which are doing worse things. Yeah. And every time, people say, oh, don't touch the men of God, don't touch, the churches. Those people who are doing those things are criminals, and there's no difference between them and the Al-Shabaab who are killing our people, or the bandits who are killing our people. We will treat them as such. We'll make new policy and regulatory framework to make it impossible for criminals to use the religious space to hurt people. We must insist on some form of self-regulation so that there's some authority of believers whose faith congregates around similar beliefs to help us to know who is doing what they believe in and who is not doing what they believe in. The law will have to address that. Okay. And then we strengthen the enforcement of the law. That is our weakest point, Honorable Chair. Law enforcement is our weakest point. And when I mean law enforcement, I don't just mean the work of the police only. It's part of the law enforcement. The other institutions, for example, the Registrar of Societies had been informed that Mr. Mackenzie's activities were endangering national security. I think that was some times back. The date is in my written statement. When that information was availed to the Registrar of Societies again. So we must strengthen law enforcement. This idea that somebody can wake up and preach anything, anywhere, anyhow, and do whatever they want simply because they are reading some scriptures will stop. But it will not be allowed. You must tell us what you preach, because if you write down the things you believe in and the things you preach, then we discover part of it is to torture people, to kill people, to brainwash them, to radicalize them. We will not register you. We will arrest you and put you in. You can threaten us all you want. You can invoke the name of God all you want, but we will not listen to you. And let me say this, Chair. 99.999% of religious organizations in this country, from all faiths, we believe as government are doing a beautiful thing for this country. They help people in their personal matters. They assist families that would have been broken without their intervention. Some of them are running education programs through their schools. Others are running training programs, water programs, and therefore, and all faiths, Christian, Muslims, Hindus, Jews, all faiths, 99.999% are doing a good thing. But the 1% that is damaging is so lethal that one success of their bad act is a shakahola. And those ones, we will eradicate them from our country. We will. Those are criminals. So there must be a mix of government regulation, self-regulation, something in between, but it's not optional. So for those who are saying we must retreat and leave this space and leave it completely and let the religious organizations manage themselves, we will not. Because when this all happens, like in this case, the blame squarely lies on the government of Kenya, not on any other person. You can see the religious people, they have gone back to their places. They occasionally talk once in a while, and even in that talk, they are trying to defend their space. The responsibility, the buck stops with the government of Kenya, and for good reasons. I hope you'll be able to talk to the judiciary. I really hope so. These are two arms of government, but even the executive and parliament are two arms of government, and we are talking. I don't think there is an arm of government that cannot talk, because they don't have their own country. We all share one country. If there is insecurity, everybody will be hurt. Even a judge can get hurt. even a judge is exposed to crime. So I hope you'll talk to the judiciary, because we have issues there, and we would want to respect them as our anchors of legalism and constitutionalism. But there are some we need to engage with them. Number 6, I have answered it.